So now we're literally going to raise the roof. We'll grab our pencil tool. We're going to bisect and raise of the roof. So I'm going to grab my pencil tool. I'm going to feel along that edge until I find a midpoint here, and I'm going to click. Now, I'm not going to click again. I'm going to move out without clicking, and then I'm going to find the midpoint here, and that's an inference point. So I wanted to find that red inference point and then click here, and then go back and click here. So now I know that I've bisected both sides of these boxes. So let's kind of rotate down. I'm going to click and go to this endpoint here and click. I'm going to click here and go to this endpoint here. Now I'm ready to raise the roof. I'm going to grab my selection tool and I'm going to click on this edge, hold on the shift key, select this edge. Then I'm going to grab my move tool, hold on the alt key, click and drag straight up. And there's my auto fold for the roof. Okay. So now I'm going to rotate it so I'm looking underneath, and we're going to make an overhang for the roof. And we're going to select the face down here. We're going to get the offset tool, and we're going to click and drag inward. So we're going to set that to 6 inches, 6 quotation mark inner. And then we're going to grab that push-pull tool, and we're going to push that up for the roof overhang. So we have something like this, okay? So now we're ready to create some additional geometry. We're going to use that additional geometry to make a base around the house. So I'm not going to measure this. I'm just going to eyeball. I'm going to grab my rectangle tool. I'm going to have to click on the edge and drag upwards and make a door. It will give me the golden mean or golden section. All right, so that's the proportions of a door, and then I'll come over and draw a window. And I'm going to zoom in, and let's grab the offset tool. I'm going to select the window, grab the offset tool and offset it a couple of times. And then I can grab the push-pull tool and let's select this surface here, and let's push that out a little bit, just a little bit. If I zoom in, I have more control over how much I push that in. Now I'm going to push this out a little bit and then push this in a little bit. There we go. So now we have something that looks pretty good. Now, let's do the door. Now, if I grab the offset tool now and offset the door, it's going to create additional material down here at the bottom. I could do that and then just delete it, but there's another way. I can grab my selection tool and I can just select the areas that I want to offset. So I want to shift click and select those edges, then grab my offset tool and pull out like so. Now I'm going to grab my push-pull tool. I'm going to click in there and drag that out. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a follow me tool along the bottom of the house to create a little extra architecture here. So I'm going to grab my line tool and I'm going to draw a line on the edge, and I want that red axis like so, and that's what I'm going to use the follow me tool. So what's the difference between the push pull and the follow me tool? If I got the push pull tool and I click and drag, when it gets to that corner, it stops, right? But what I want this to do is follow or articulate the whole bottom of the house. So I go and I grab my follow me tool and I click and I just drag it. And as long as you have continuous lines, it will follow it. Let's zoom out a little bit, all the way around like so. And then I can just snap it back on. And there's my base for the house. I'm going to undo that. Now there's another way that works a little bit better. And that's just to pre-select the path. I'm going to hold the shift key down. I'm going to pre-select that path. I'm holding down the shift to add all of these as a path. And now that I've added it, I grab my follow me tool and I click on the thing I want to follow that path, and that does something like that. So let's stop here. We'll come back in the next video and finish up the house.